Caitlin Clark just hit $10 million in earnings off court, and WNBA stars could not be more pissed. How can a rookie get all the love, fame, and attention? And why? First, let's talk about the facts. What was Caitlin Clark's WNBA starting deal? $75,000. You heard that right. In most pro sports, that's not even a quarter. To give you an idea, the typical beginner in the NBA makes more than $900,000 in their first season in the NFL. The first-year salaries are around $700,000. Even soccer rookies in top European leagues are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions, straight out of the gate. Why not the WNBA? It's a different story. Low attendance, limited TV deals, and a general lack of popular attention mean rookie wages are barely enough to turn heads, let alone build by a comfortable life. The WNBA has never drawn enough fans to become a global sports brand, while leagues like the NBA, NFL, and even women's soccer have built international followings. The WNBA has stayed largely confined to a niche audience. Why? A failure to catch the casual fan, and let's be honest, a product that hasn't always been promoted in the most exciting way. And that's one way, but in the pipeline you have Olivia at Pepperdine and keep your team for years. The league has been stuck in a cycle of low attendance, minimal media attention, and limited financial growth. That's why players in the WNBA have generally missed out on the massive endorsement deals that their male counterparts enjoy, while NBA rookies sign multi-million-dollar contracts and land lucrative deals. WNBA players have had to settle for far less. Caitlin Clark changed everything back. Bentley, here's Clark, a good look. From three, she got it the first three. The moment she stepped onto the court, she brought something the league had been missing: buzz. Suddenly, folks were talking about the WNBA. Social media lit up with highlights of her deep threes, her no-look passes, and her fierce competition, and brands took notice. Companies that had never considered sponsoring a WNBA star were now lining up to work with Caitlin. She didn't just bring attention to herself, she brought attention to the game. But here's the kicker: while Caitlin is elevating the WNBA's image, not everyone is happy about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: anger. Many WNBA players have been working for years, hoping for their moment in the spot. They've put in the work, played their hearts out, and yet the multi-million-dollar contracts never came to. For one Clark bounce pass, there's Boston. Now along comes Caitlin Clark, rookie, and she's suddenly the face of the game. She's making more in 1 year off the court than most players will make in their entire careers, and that's got to sting. We've already seen subtle digs from older players, comments about earning your place and rest the grind. But let's be real, this isn't about respect. It's about the fact that Caitlin has what they don't: general appeal and the ability to attract fans and sponsors in a way that few players ever have. The WNBA has a golden chance to ride the wave of Caitlin Clark's popularity and turn the league into a global brand. King, the New York Liberty, are WNBA champions, but will they seize it? Imagine if Caitlin had been the face of Team USA at the Olympics. The global exposure, the chance to showcase her ability on the world stage, it could have been a game share for the WNBA. Instead, they missed the boat. I think it's more of it's the official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything now. Caitlin is doing it on her own. She's expanding the league's reach, bringing in new fans, and getting endorsements that most players can only dream of. And the WNBA, they're playing catch-up. If you think $10 million is amazing, just wait. This is only the beginning. Caitlin Clark is on track to become one of the highest-earning athletes in women's sports, not just because of her ability, but because she understands how to build a brand, while other players sit back and wonder why the endorsements aren't rolling in. Caitlin is out there making moves, building relationships, and growing her empire. Her number, buying her jersey, and she has been very engaging with a lot of her fans. This has been the scene perpetually across the league for Caitlin Clark. And as for jealousy, it's only going to get worse, because Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she's owning it. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie sensation, she's a movement. In one season, she shattered standards, silenced critics, and most importantly, dragged the WNBA into the global spotlight. While other players have talked about growing the game, Caitlin Clark has done it. And she's done it by doing what no one else has managed to do in years: fill arenas and break team attendance records again and again. Caitlin Clark's effect on the WNBA isn't just about jaw-dropping stats or buzzer-beater threes, it's about filling places. Franchise attendant marks that once stood for years, Caitlin destroyed them multiple times in a single season. Take her home games with the Indiana Fever. Before Caitlin, the Fever struggled to fill half the stadium. But once Clark arrived, tickets were sold out weeks in advance. Fans weren't just coming from Indiana, they were traveling from nearby states, all to witness the magic of Caitlin Clark in person. Even away games became must-see events. Opposing teams saw their largest crowds in years when the Fever came to town. It didn't matter who they were playing if Caitlin Clark was on the floor. The seats were packed. Now, let's talk about the playoffs. The Indiana Fever season finished with a tough loss to the Connecticut Sun in the semifinals. For most teams, that would have been the end of the story. Fans would pack it in, and the league would return to its normal modest viewership. But not this time. Even after the Fever lost to Connecticut Sun, the Caitlin-Clark effect kept rolling. Williams poise, can't hit, rebound. Smith, another chance for Minnesota. Williams, connect, plus the bowl, a chance for fooled. A wave of excitement, and the roving train of fan attendance kept the numbers going even though it had dropped off a cliff. By the time the WNBA Finals rolled around, fans were still flocking to stadiums, eager to be part of the excitement Caitlin had sparked. And then it happened. The Finals set a new attendance record, one that no one saw coming. Think about that for a moment. Caitlin-Clark's team wasn't even in the Finals, but the hype she built during the season carried over. Her impact was so powerful that it didn't just elevate the Fever, it lifted the entire league. The intensity on defense that has started this run for Atlanta, the eighth side, got to be there. How about the finish at the other end? CL, when the Connecticut Sun faced off against the Las Vegas Aces in the finals, the crowd wasn't just there to support their teams, they were there because Caitlin-Clark made them care about the WNBA. Fans who found the league through Caitlin didn't just disappear after the Fever's playoff exit. Many stayed, watched, and helped to make the finals a historic event. Caitlin-Clark isn't just breaking records, she's bringing the WNBA to the world's attention in a way no one else has. She's the kind of player who makes regular sports fans stop and take notice, and once they do, they stay for years. The WNBA has failed to capture the attention of mainstream audiences, but with Caitlin in the game, that struggle is starting to change. She's not just a player, she's a world ambassador for women's basketball. I think I'm just excited. Honestly, I'm not a professional golf by any means, so I think just having fun and getting to be with two of the best probably ever play this game. It's super fun and special for me. I'm a fan of both of them, but international fans who may never have paid attention to the WNBA before are now tuning in. Her highlights are going viral across social media channels. Her shirt sales are through the roof, and brands that once ignored the league are now seeing its potential because of Caitlin-Clark. If Caitlin-Clark can do all this in her rookie season, think what's coming next. She's already set the bar higher than anyone thought possible, and she's just getting started now. Realizes it. Barb, trying to take her defender, pulls up and hits from the mid-range. Franchise attendance records, she'll keep breaking them. Playoff excitement, she'll take it to new heights, and the WNBA, it's finally getting the attention it deserves thanks to Caitlin-Clark. For those who doubted her, the message is clear. Caitlin-Clark isn't just a rookie, she's the future, and she's taking the WNBA along for the ride, whether the rest of the league is ready or not. Caitlin-Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's owning the talk off it. While some new BA players struggle to capture attention with their gameplay, Caitlin has become a global sensation, drawing admiration from fans, media, and, more importantly, brands willing to pay millions just to have her talk them and everything that they do. Not only a women's sports, but just sports in general. It's tremendous, and I feel very lucky to be a partner of theirs. And obviously, as you guys talked about, it started before I even was drafted by the Indiana Fever. So I feel like it was kind of fate. In a way, it worked out perfectly. And while many WNBA players are still waiting for their moment in the sun, Caitlin is building a global brand. She's not just a basketball player, she's a cultural icon, and that fact is hard for some of her peers to swallow. Here's the kicker. The WNBA, as important as it is merely a stepping stone for Caitlin-Clark. While other players are focused on maximizing their jobs within the league, Caitlin is already setting her sights far beyond it. The WNBA is a platform, sure, but Caitlin, she's going for the stars. Her vision isn't limited to being the best player in the WNBA. It's about becoming a global influencer, someone who transcends the sport completely. And with each passing day, she's showing that the league is just the beginning. This is after a tremendous move, and we are tied right now, Clark to Sampson. And there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead of the game. Did you know that companies are willing to pay six-figure sums just to have Caitlin